No, I didn't do the worst stuff. Any of it. Like, of course, when I threatened people, I was very specific. Did I ever threaten to kill Danica Garner? No. Did I ever threaten to kill Alicia Bollinger? No. There's still literally no evidence of this, but that's what they want to claim. This is what they want to pretend after they all got busted lying. Alicia Bollinger got busted lying. Rochelle Shelley Campbell got busted lying. Danica Garner got busted lying. Layla Johnson got busted lying. Even Shannon Alvarado got busted lying. I mean, shit, everybody gets busted lying, and then they want to say, oh, that never happened. After getting busted lying, they all want to play the mentally ill card and play the victim card. You're out of your fucking gourd. Now, I don't even remember what the title of this video is, and it don't matter. I'm still going to ramble about whatever's on my fucking mind. You know, there's a Dr. Caroline, and at the end of her show, after she talks about everybody else's business, at the end of the show, what's her moral of the story? It's mind your business. She says that at the end of every one of her YouTube shows. Mind your business. Like you do, Dr. Caroline? Interesting. Dan Faber, in the messages yesterday, admitted to things I needed him to admit to. And this whole time, I've needed him to admit to. And he admitted them in video last time. There's quite a few things that he has admitted to. And all those things that he admitted to are things that I was treated like I was schizophrenic for saying. Now then, he wants to be angry. He wants to use situations that he was not there for as an excuse. Well, with this, just like same thing with Tabitha Michelle Cook. She wanted to backtrack. When her new penis, Graham Milbourne, was my target at that point in time for his wrongdoing, well, she wanted to use Natalie Bollinger in the situation that Tabby had literally never taken a look at as her excuse. Not only that, she didn't type that because it's true. She typed it because it was the meanest thing that she could type at that point in time. Because she was angry at me for being honest about her penis. Graham Milbourne. See, that's where sex is important. You can have a best friend of 20 years who has been loyal to you through every step of it. But the moment you start getting pounded with that pecker is what you care about. That pecker is what you crave. That pecker is what you think about. When the thing attached to that pecker does something wrong, you protect your pecker. A lot of women, after beating or getting beaten on, they go back to their predator and they make excuses. Oh, well, you know, it really wasn't that bad. You know, he didn't hit me on purpose. He gave you 2 black eyes, bruised up your upper forearm, or your upper arm and your forearm, and he did it on accident. That's multiple bruises. Are you sure that's a fucking accident? And why are you going to pretend it's an accident now? When you called me up and said, he beat the fuck out of me, I need help getting the hell out of here. Why did you go back 2 weeks later? Because you were fucking lonely. And you tell me I gotta be fine by myself. You literally tell me I gotta be fine by myself. When you can't handle 2 weeks alone. When you guys want to say how mentally ill those little girls are who are in an institution, and they're in there and they're stuck there until they're willing to pretend that their dad's not really a child molester. until they're willing to pretend like they cut their wrists because they needed meds. And why do they finally concede? Knowing that daddy's going to fuck them? Because they want to see their friends. They don't want to be lonely anymore. And in those institutions, it is lonely. You make a friend and he moves on to another institution. Or his court-appointed whatever is up and he gets to go home. Or the doctor has said that he's not actually schizophrenic, and so he can be brought up in court on his charges. I mean, you don't get to keep friends. So when you're in there and you're sad because all your friends, you're able to make a friend for a couple of days, and then they're moving, and you didn't know they were going to move, but now you gotta try to find another friend. So you get released from whatever mental institution or lockup facility that you're fucking in, and you go back to your dad's place, and you shut your mouth about him raping you now. You cut yourself in private. Instead of a lady bick on your wrists, it's now a kitchen knife on your upper thigh. But at least you get to see your friends. Do you understand the reference? Do you get it? Does it make sense to you? With a mandated reporter, here's the way that it works, and here's why the laws are the way that they are, especially in states where everyone is a mandated reporter. If somebody is raped, that's not your fault. If you see somebody get raped, it is your fault that that rapist got away. It is also your fault for every rape committed by that individual since. If I came to you in October of 2016 and told you that I was raped, or if you saw somebody rape me in 2016, because both of those are covered by mandated reporters, if a victim tells you that they are victimized, that is enough. Now, these people claim that they turn these things in, but was there ever an investigation? No. Was there ever anybody to come collect my evidence? No. They knew that I wasn't able to do the things that they wanted me to do without help. But they denied me that help because I'm not disabled enough. And then they victimized me for being disabled over and over again. We've got the whole guardianship. A lot of rich motherfuckers want guardianship removed. Well, that prevents those of us who are at-risk adults, who are poor, from having any recourse, from having someone to defend our rights. When I spoke to James Payton about, I don't care what he did or didn't do, if he's willing to be my guardian and help me to get put in a facility, and he's willing to do that. Hopefully that'll keep my sister and my niece safe. A lot of folks are probably thinking, well, why didn't you turn it into the cops? You see what happens when I try to turn in the cops. You see how it wasn't just me. How when my sister tried to help, how she was intimidated by the cops. That's the situation in Dual County that you guys want to pretend that don't exist. And she was also harassed by somebody from Colorado. By her own words. Right after leaving Chapel, Nebraska. Now you might say, how does that keep your sister safe that you went so far away? I mean, for most of you, with your suggestion was that I go kill these people, wasn't it? Oh, if that happened to me, I'd kill them. If they messed with my sister or my niece, I'd kill them. If they messed with my daughter my cousin or whoever, I'd kill him, I'd kill him, I'd kill him. You guys just keep saying that, don't you? But do you kill them? No, you don't. Your mouths and nothing more. Telling me that you would kill somebody does not help me. When you say that you are willing to help me, that you want to help me, and then all you're doing is telling me what to do, not listening to the situation, and you're talking about how you'd kill somebody the whole time, you won't help me to turn it into the cops, knowing that it's true. Well, that does make you a coward, because I tried. I knew what would happen if I went in alone. I know how people who are called mentally ill are treated. I know how homeless people are treated. I know how ugly men are treated. I know that if I was a man like Sean Jepson or Joshua Martindale, I would have women coming up to me often just to tell me how good looking I am. Out of nowhere, just walking up and telling me I'm good looking. You know how many women have ever done that with me? Not a single one. And I've had women, when I say that, they say, well, you're not bad looking. You know, you're good looking. No, you were prompted. You were straight up prompted, lady. It's kind of like when you say penis size doesn't matter. And we have it pumped at us from a lot of different women. We can see it lined up on our Facebook on some days. 5 women in a row talking about how penis size is important and how sex is important. Well, y'all tell us that men are all perverts and only think about one thing, and we get this all over our timelines from female friends of ours. And then you guys want to pretend that women aren't like that. No woman could possibly ever. When we look at conviction rates versus, well, scientific mandates and guidelines, when we look at science and the way that we analyze things, and we analyze Facebook, and we analyze YouTube, and we analyze Twitter, what have we come to discover? Over 80% of women in these things, all of them, exhibit a high quantity of narcissistic traits. We've got women who are bragging openly on Twitter about how they did wrong things to a man, things that are highly illegal. We've got men now who have wisened up and realized that they need to start recording these conversations and these arguments, because when these women admit that because you broke their heart, they're going to run around and tell everybody that you're a pedophile. Well, you better goddamn well have it recorded like those gentlemen on YouTube have recorded. They have shown that no, not every woman is sugar and spice and everything fucking nice. That if you turn a woman down, she will do just as evil as shit as a man will. Matter of fact, she'll do worse. What's worse, a beating or an accusation of being called a pedophile? 100%. What is worse is the accusation of being called a pedophile. 100%. Now, when those guys post that stuff, it goes viral. What happens when I post that stuff? And then there's people who want to claim that I'm delusional because of things that they heard. People like Zach Richmond. And then he wants to say things that do entirely sound delusional, because they are. Like, oh, a mentally ill person defending a mentally ill person in court. Or there's, of course, the part about it's the FBI. Well, it might be the FBI. It might not. Can you prove it? Because you just sound delusional. Now, meanwhile, I did get notifications in my Facebook, by the way. Or notifications in my emails, by the way. We got to see those yesterday, didn't we? Where there's verification in my emails that they had issues. That those internet companies had issues, and they sent that stuff out, didn't they? You guys probably got a notification from those companies too, saying that they were experiencing difficulties on those days. Might be Russian hackers, might be not. It doesn't matter to me what conspiracy theory you got, but those problems did exist. Now, Zach wanted to automatically say that it was the FBI, and still it could be. But that doesn't mean that it is. He doesn't have any evidence to suggest that it is. I have evidence that suggests that it could be. I mean, I have evidence of their motivation to do such a thing if they chose to. But then again, for all of my personal information and pretend that I committed a crime to do it. Like Waylon Lolatai assaulting the fuck out of me, claiming I tried to bite him. They were caught blatantly lying. Maybe they should have thought about whether or not I had teeth before accusing me of trying to bite them. What am I gonna fucking bite them with? Without teeth, I don't even think about biting people. Why would that occur to me? Biting somebody with no teeth isn't gonna fucking do anything. Of course, when I was assaulted up there in Rapid City and another place, where of course, no body cameras, no audio recordings, and there's no video cameras in my room. And they made sure that when they assaulted me, it was in my room. That lady put her arm across my face and forced my beard into my mouth. I couldn't breathe. Did I bite her? Yes, I absolutely did. At that point in time, she's got her arm pressed against my mouth and my nose and I can't breathe. That is the natural thing to do. At that point, yeah, without any teeth, yes, it did occur to me during that point in time that I had to fucking bite something. I can't breathe. I can't even say that I can't breathe at that point. And what did they do? Took me to the timeout room and injected me in drugs, then had the cops show up. And then when I was trying to talk to the cops and trying to get somebody there because I was being fucking abused, they injected me with those fucking drugs again. Congratulations, welcome to goddamn America, where you can bully somebody and abuse somebody, and rather than them getting the help that they need stopping the abuse, you will fucking abuse them for trying to get help. Congratulations, America! You victimize the most victimized people in the country and then whine and mule about your trivial fucking shit. Oh no, your mommy didn't buy you a Prada backpack. Poor fucking you! My mommy didn't buy me shit. I know grown-ass adults who have complained that their wife or their parents, these are grown-ass adults, spent less than $200 on a fucking Christmas or birthday present for them. Do you know how fucking rare it is for me to get either one? Is that the shit that I'm fucking complaining about? No, I am complaining about real fucking problems, you fucking pansy ass. Alright, so we got MRRM, the Cahooligan type. Forgive them if that's not an option. I don't think you lost your marbles. Stop it, man. Who are you? I am Sean David Schwartz. I was born October 18th, 1980. To Brian David Schwartz and Angela K. Bruns in the small town of Scottsbluff, Nebraska. On the Chinese zodiac, I am a monkey. On the Hellenic zodiac, I am a Libra. I am 5'9", approximately 170 to 180 pounds. I'm a human being first and foremost. MRRM, the Cahooligan. I showed you that every step of the way I was trying to get this turned in. and that I had no actual support in turning it in. Plenty of people who wanted to pretend, plenty of people who wanted to argue, plenty of people who wanted to take sides based on bullshit and assumption of me being retarded. People who wanted to pretend they were going to help me and that they understood autism, but then they show that no matter what, 100% of the time, an autistic person must be to blame for every argument. They must be too retarded to know up from down, left from right, or right from fucking wrong. No, you don't know shit about autism. You don't know the experience of autism. That would be like me telling a black person the experience of being black. Or me telling Jeff Baldridge the experience of living in a fucking wheelchair. Sure, I got my fucking opinions. That doesn't make it a fucking fact. And if him and his experience as a human being in a wheelchair does not match up with my opinion, that does not make him wrong. If I pretend that he's wrong, then that shows that I am not a reasonable individual. I am not capable of forming a thought that is comprehensive. I am not capable of deductive reasoning skills. I am not capable of learning from another person. And I am not capable of admitting when I'm wrong. When these people want to argue with me about situations that they weren't there for, well, yeah, they're going to be wrong 100% of the time. That's just a fact. Now, a lot of people, like I was saying, with people using religion as their excuse, you got to, if you're on my Facebook, or if you go to check out my Facebook, you can see the messages. I don't know how far you're going to scroll, because there's a lot of evidence on there. But you can see my older brother using his... You can see that he uses God in a very unchristian way. He uses this deity that he absolutely does not believe in. He has shown that he does not believe in. But he wants to use this deity in a way that deity, in that book, the Bible, that deity is against. He claimed that God told him that I would never be happy, and that's why he never tried. He literally never made an effort. He's friends with people like Desiree, who took advantage of me in more than one way. Now, is he going to bother to look at the Sydney police report or the thing that they wrote on that incident? With her at my apartment, the day that I walked into my apartment in Sydney, Nebraska, and she was there stark-ass naked and started screaming at me, like, literally, when I opened the door, screaming at me as if I was trying to sexually assault her because I walked in and saw her naked. You're goddamn right I left. Oh, hell no. And of course, the officers, they were telling me that they would arrest her. They were telling me that they would arrest her and that I could kick her out of my house and all that and the other, but no, she was coming down from meth and she was fucking flipping shit, and it was because of her meth addiction, and I was trying to be as supportive as I could, and fuck it, I can sleep in my car. I don't mind sleeping in my car. I'm sure as shit not gonna fucking deal with that situation, though. Oh, hell no. That's why it's a very, very scary proposition when you're a male to assist drug addicts, especially when they're female. My advice is not to do it. But I know that most of you guys, you're American. You're treated that as a man, it is your duty, your job to protect women. So when they tell you their sob story, that's really because they're fucking junked out of their goddamn gourd, you don't want to be the bad man who doesn't protect women, do you? God bless America, right? You don't want to be that guy who's judged because of the bias that women can't possibly do any wrong. That you must be the bad guy because you didn't help them. But then there ain't no winning if you're a guy, is there? If you do help her, you're the bad guy. If you don't help her, you're the bad guy. Even with irrefutable proof of my predators' drug use, sales, and interactions. Even with known drug dealers and drug addicts saying loud and clear on my YouTube channel that I don't do those drugs and admitting that they do. You still push the pretending I'm on drugs to try to discredit me. This had nothing to do with evidence. It had to do with gaslighting and discrediting people. And did these folks who were claiming that they were going to help me, did they actually keep their word? Did they try, or did they gaslight me? Well, the evidence shows that they gaslighted me. The evidence shows that Layla Johnson gaslighted me. The evidence shows that that Dan Favorite himself gaslighted me. It shows that Mandy Hughes and Alyssa Rainwater gaslighted me. It shows that Candace Bondurant gaslighted me. The evidence shows I was gaslighted. But you don't want to see that. They call me mentally ill, and you will believe anything that they tell you. Just like when you see these Natalie Bollinger things that are always up. And all of those, they make sure to point out the mentally ill, mentally ill, mentally ill, mentally ill, mentally ill, over and over again, drilling into your heads that I'm probably a violent schizophrenic who's going to come chop up your kids and chop up your dog and fucking feed them to your goddamn goldfish. They use mentally ill in place of my actual diagnoses. And why is that? Because my actual diagnoses would have made their actions sufficient to put them in prison. All of them. But by implying and insinuating that I was schizophrenic and delusional by calling me mentally ill, by calling all of these school shooters and mass shooters mentally ill, you're putting me in the same category as those people, insinuating that I am one of those people, that I must be one of those people, and if I'm not one of those people, I'm going to be one of those people, and you literally condemn me and convict me and abuse me over a crime that's literally not happened. Show me proof that I threatened to kill Natalie Bollinger and her family in Virginia in 2016. Show me proof that I threatened to kill her and her family and Ted and Tim in 2017. Prove that I threatened to kill anyone at all before Ted Bollinger after my grandma's funeral. Go ahead. I'll fucking wait. But I'm smart enough not to hold my fucking breath because I know what's there and what ain't. You guys condemn me and harm me over fucking slander. You helped my predators to spread slander in the courtroom. You helped my predators get away, and afterwards you use that as an excuse why you didn't do nothing. No, that's not a valid fucking excuse. You want to call me a liar for repeating what the police said? Well, that's just evidence that the police fucking lied, but you didn't come forward, did you? You didn't actually go in with me to make a fucking police report, did you? Did you? Of course you didn't. By Dan Fabert's own admission, he never tried to get in contact with cops, and he's never gonna. He also decided to say the meanest thing that he could possibly say. He wanted me to hurt. Hurt people hurt, don't they? He's hurt that I told the truth about him. So what does he do? He tells me that he should have told them that I'm a danger to society. Well, Dan, now you're showing the predatory action that we have to go through when we try to get help, or when we tell on our predators, because what you did, Dan, is absolutely predatory. What you did, no matter whether you bought those phones or not, and I'm going to admit straight up, he did buy those phones. Well, I bought them, but he sent me the money for them knowing I was going to spend it on phones. He absolutely fucking did. I'm not going to pretend that he didn't. However, that doesn't make up for the predatory actions that he knew were going on, that he actually literally took a part in. But he said nothing. He allowed me to be condemned by the public, to be treated like I was a bad person, like I was a schizophrenic lying about Layla Johnson. You allowed them to pass that narrative. You allowed them to continue. MRRM typed, my neighbors have a son that's autistic. He's 16. He's a good sort. MRRM, the Cahooligan, also typed, I hope you bring these wolves clothed in sheepskins down in the end. MRRM, the Cahooligan, are you sharing my story? If not, it's not going to happen. My predators, well, they have outlets that allow millions of people to hear them, because they have support. These websites, these true crime places, they're all willing to listen to the Bollingers. They're all willing to listen to my predators. Every single one of them will listen to my predators, but they won't listen to me. These places have perpetuated the hate and the violence towards me, and all of the things that prevent me from having my rights as a human being observed. They perpetuate it because rather than admit that they're wrong, they would rather allow my predators every outlet that they denied me. They denied me the right to take my predators to court. They denied me access to legal materials. They denied me a public defender. Every single time, a public defender. I never had one. I had public pretenders who assisted the prosecution. When I tried to have witnesses present there, like when I went in with Graham, they went out of their way to make sure that Graham wasn't in the room. That if anyone other than my looked at that stuff, that then I didn't have any rights to confidentiality anymore. That's what they told me. But then the woman who was alone with me in a room to do what it is that my public pretender was supposed to do told me that she's not my public pretender, and she's not supposed to be, and she's not gonna be. I didn't get to talk to my public pretender. I wasted the fucking trip. And of course, that woman claiming that if Graham was in the room, that I no longer had any fucking rights because he wasn't my lawyer. Well, she wasn't my lawyer either. So she made it that it was okay. She was able to make it so that it was her word versus mine, no matter what the scenario is, by barring Graham from entering the room. You guys don't care about us. We don't matter. We're not humans to your society. We are your victim pool. We are the police's victim pool. We are the victim's victim pool. You physically and psychologically torture us until we concede and give you predators what you want. Do I do mean things now? You goddamn right I do. I adapted and I adjusted and I utilize the tools at my disposal. That includes the things that were done to me that were deemed not illegal. Then watch me. Bet you it's illegal if I do it. Bet you these rules change. These things that Scott DaCosta wanted to tell me. And then he went out of his way to assist several other of my predators who were claiming they were going to help me to turn in Scott DaCosta. So then I've got my predators working with one another. Isn't that cute? Mandy Hughes may have had good intentions, but she lied way too goddamn much. And of course, there's the recording thing and the posting on the internet. Yes, I will give you my word. Absolutely, I will give you my word. Unless, of course, you want to break yours. Yes, I've given my word, but now that you've broken it, I am under no obligation to keep it. I am under zero obligation to fulfill a verbal contract that you did not fulfill your end of. It's not your personal business. You fighting with other people is not your personal business. It's not. When that prevents me from doing the things that I am expected to do, then it is my business. When you promised to help me in the time that you promised that you were going to set aside for me, instead you got drunk and you create a situation where you are triggering my PTSD by doing what it is that these predators have done to me repeatedly. It doesn't matter that you are doing it to someone else. It is triggering. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off because I don't want this to die. I've been doing a lot of speaking on here because with my computer not working and also me not having a keyboard that works, I mean, I'm very limited on what I'm allowed to do or what I'm capable of doing. But one thing I can do is review the evidence. I can tell you about the evidence that is on my YouTube channel, and you have access to my YouTube channel. I want you to do something real quick. I want you to go to my videos, where you can see all of my videos. I want you to go to where it says filters. I want you to click on that. Where it says filters, I want you to click on the option of date added oldest first. Once you have clicked on that, I want you to go through and I want you to listen to the videos that say Katie. I want you to listen to the videos that say Hebert. I want you to listen to the videos that say Tabby and Graham. I want you to listen to the videos that say, God, that lady just gave me a fucking horrible look. She looked at me like I raped her fucking dog. That lady right there. A lot of those videos I'm just talking in. The ones that say Brandon, I want you to listen to those ones. Now, if you just type up the name Brandon, you might not get it. Or if you just type up the word Katie, you might not get it. Because there's letters and numbers after that. The designation for the date and, other stuff. It's not just Brandon Ratner's name. So the way that you have to look at it is to go back to the very beginning and scroll. It won't take you long scrolling to find it. And there's literally dozens and dozens right at the very beginning from all of these people that I told you existed, that I told you that these things happened, and these people verify that these things happened. All of these things that I was called schizophrenic for saying. All of these things I was called delusional for saying. Why is it that my predators got away with this in court? It's because those people made zero attempt to make a police report. They made zero attempt to speak out publicly. Zero. Now, there's people that did, but then again, that wasn't allowed in court, was it? Am I incorrect? The evidence is absolutely there. It's irrefutable, but it's not allowed in court because it doesn't fit their lies. My evidence doesn't protect my predators, so they won't allow it. My evidence shows their wrongdoing. They are heavily invested in keeping it out of court. Even knowing that it's live on YouTube for God and everybody to see, they know nobody gives a shit. They know that most of the people who look at my fucking channel are my predators. People who are looking for anything in any conversation that they can cherry pick and pretend like I'm a horrible person for saying it. No. I told you from the very start, if nobody goes in with me, I'm going to get the mentally ill treatment and I'm going to get railroaded. And what fucking happened? Well, all of you stupid son of a bitches got proven to be fucking idiots and morons. Now there's the Odyssey World, or the Autism World, the guy who makes that channel. He decided to call the Twitter executive an idiot for the same things that I called Megan Missigatis an idiot for. Except I didn't call Megan Missigatis an idiot, did I? I called her a moron. Well done, idiots.